Hello everyone, it's episode 74 of the General Damage Podcast.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yes, it's going. It's feels like a month since we've done this, but it's only been a week.
Dude, I totally feel you on it. Feels like a month since we last did this.
It does. It feels okay. Good. It's not just me. Crazy shit has been happening at my work. So the distance in time we've been doing this it's nuts.
I don't know. I feel like because the upload, it actually feels a lot shorter for me.
That's fair.
Yeah, you've been listening to it a bit more than we have, so that makes a bit of sense. But real quick bit. I'm Nick.
I'm Will.
And I'm Shane.
Yeah, you is.
Fucking 5. Yes, you is. And you're only 5.
That'll be a great shirt one day.
And I'm Shane.
Well, I'm Shane.
I'm Shane. It's just a little like toddler.
Just get a baby picture of yourself and put it on a shirt that says I'm Shane.
I've got plenty of those.
I was gonna say, all you have to do is either A, ask Ashley, or B, talk to your mom.
Yeah. Knowing Ashley, if she listens to this, she will probably hop onto Photoshop and immediately make it.
Yeah.
I could easily
if she finds it funny enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it, but at the same time, I don't think it'll add a certain finesse and humiliation to it, like Ashley.
Oh yeah, because I mean, it's not really humiliation. I own it. Like,
well, yeah. It's true.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to correct something real quick because Ashley was listening to last week's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Actually, what was it? It was. She said it was about Unreal Tournament, and I was like, that was her favorite, and I got it wrong. And she was like, "No, you actually said." Let me check my text real quick. Let's see. It was because she made a point to like tell me because she's like, "You were so close, but not really there."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Of course, I was off because I just didn't." I think I said like 1 and 3 were her favorite, is what I wanted to say, but I said 2 was her favorite. She's like, "No, I hate 2."
Gotcha.
Oh. Okay. What was her favorite then?
It's 1 or 3.
It's 1 or 3. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which
is like a large margin to miss by.
Yeah. I know there is a huge... There is the competitive multiplayer aspect to Unreal, but was there ever an Unreal game with a campaign?
I think there was. It just wasn't good. It's not something. Yeah. It wasn't something that was like deep and amazing and fulfilling.
Fair enough.
Well, so when Ashley talks about it, she used to play with her dad and her brother, and going from the computer setup they have at their house, they basically had their own private server.
Yeah.
So it's like giant LAN party.
Funny enough, I was thinking back to it, and you kind of mentioned about LAN party. In high school, we had our computer lab, and all the computers in there had Unreal. And so like sometimes at lunch, just kind of go in there and game with buddies.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
In my high school, someone started installing classic StarCraft on a bunch of the old computers.
Yeah, we had that.
Yeah, and then a
buddy of
a server for not Civ but Risk.
Jeez.
Sim was on a lot of computers in my middle school.
Yeah.
Which that was always a fun game, but in high school, a buddy of mine installed, because he asked the teacher if he can do it. He installed Diablo 2.
Oh, all right.
And we kind of have this chess club thing going on with this teacher. We would go into this guy's classroom and we'd talk him, and he had a Johnny Bravo kind of haircut, or an Elvis kind of haircut.
Oh, like a pompadour?
Yeah, like a pompadour thing, and he was an interesting kind of dude. And we would chat with him and stuff, and then we started playing chess with him, and then all of a sudden the club formed around us for that year.
Cool.
You know, people were playing chess, and they had a tournament, and then my friend he started playing Diablo on the computer in the classroom. So he would play Diablo, and everyone else would be playing checkers or chess, and sometimes occasionally there'd be a game of Chinese checkers.
All right.
Yeah, but it was cool to see all the chess sets that people are donating. There was a Simpsons chess, there was the Lord of the Rings chess, and that's when the Lord of the Rings was hot.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was a lot of interesting chess pieces, interesting chess sets that we saw.
Nice.
But yeah, I remember him grinding through Diablo 2. Yeah, him and his fucking, I think it was a monk. Yeah.
We had, I know a bunch of people who had, like, Mugen installed on a thumb drive, or some beat game on it, and would play, like, Final Fantasy music or some other shit. And, yeah, just people would have, like, thumb drives on them and pop them in the computer and run the games off of their thumb drives.
Yeah. I told my coworker today, we were talking about the NES Classic and the SNES that's coming out and all that shit, and we're talking about like, oh yeah, Atari has a few of those where you buy like you buy like this little thing that has all the games on it.
Yeah.
And I said to her, I think all the Atari games can probably fit on like a gig flash drive, maybe a 2 gig flash drive now, because they're so fucking low. It's insane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's not much to an Atari game.
Yeah, it require little to no space.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas, shit, now I heard Final Fantasy's coming. The Final Fantasy 15 is coming to the PC.
Correct.
And apparently it's going to be like 100 gig download.
Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah. God, that's more than Doom.
I was going to say,
Doom with the newest patch is probably over 100 gigs.
Probably. I mean, I haven't updated Doom in a while, but like
the 6.66 patch, it's like 40 or 50 gigabytes.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, and the thing that they did, which is really cool, is they basically gave all the DLC for free.
Okay.
To all the players, so you can play all the DLC now for free, which is, I think, really cool. And they also added an arcade mode to it with multiplayers and combos you can do, and they basically made it a kind of like a fun, stupid, sporty kind of game.
Nice.
So you can play the whole game, and you're trying to get the high score now.
All right.
Which I think is kind of cool. I haven't beaten Doom still because I'm going through Wolfenstein. I'm like, I think 6 or 4 chapters away from finishing that game. So something was bugging me about Wolfenstein because the sequel's coming up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, so it's 1960 in Wolfenstein 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one, we're going to America. And I thought for a while, the trailer said 1967.
Mm-hmm.
And it just didn't mesh well because it's like, it's 1967. It looks like Blazkowicz is in another fucking coma he's waking up from.
Yeah.
How did Anya get pregnant?
Yes.
Did she do it intravenously? So I kept arguing with myself. How the hell did this happen? Oh, it's 1961. I'm off.
It's alright.
Yeah. Like, I'm a little bit off here. But yeah, that's interesting. There are things I want to talk about, but before we really get into any kind of the meat of a situation, I have been kind of just going through all these YouTube videos on this one channel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Called One Mind Syndicate, and they basically do fact videos about Warhammer 40k.
Okay.
Which I think is interesting.
Yeah, and considering how much has changed now in the Warhammer universe,
yeah,
I haven't looked too deep into it, but yeah, here it's deep. What happened?
It's deep, but they go like 40 facts about Space Marines, the daily life of a Space Marine. Mm. What do they do from like when they quote wake up, they don't really sleep, to when they finally go back to rest.
Yeah.
You know what a Space Marine could eat. You know what a civilian's life is like in the Imperium.
Okay.
One video turned me onto the Tau. I'm like, oh, the Tau are the reasonable race in this universe.
Yeah, they're the communists.
Yeah, they're communists. Hey, join us. We'll give you technology. You can keep worshiping the Emperor if you want. It's fine. Freedom of religion and a bit more freedom. It's cool. Just work for us.
Yeah, for the greater good.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing. So I'm watching these videos, and I'm picturing all the imagery in my head of how horrible it can be, how graphic it can be, how bizarre it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I proposed this question before, but I'm going to propose it again. Do you guys think that there could ever be a big feature-length live-action Warhammer movie?
I could say yes.
Yes, in the broad sense?
Yes, in the broad sense. Yeah, they could definitely do it. And with how big the universe is, they could do, in a sense, whatever.
True.
Yeah, like they don't necessarily have to cover a major campaign or war. I mean, they could dial it as bad, like, close to home, or like keep it as simple as like just focusing on a rogue trader faction dealing with the ins and outs of the Imperium, and something happens. Like, you could keep it very far away from kind of the major plot points and still it feel normal and original.
Yeah, true. I mean, I have a book called Death World, which is just about this one squad of, I think I'm going to butcher the word, of Karachin fighters, jungle fighters.
Yeah.
And what they're doing on this Death World of theirs.
Yeah.
And it's freaky. It's like very X-Files freaky, even for a Warhammer setting. It's still freaky. They discover that the planet is carnivorous.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's a freaky... But it focuses on this one Karachin warrior who hasn't gotten his name yet, because everyone gets a name, like a nickname, essentially. And it was an interesting book.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, focusing on that be fine. But it's just like... Just to do one movie... Like, I mean, I say it like I don't think the general public would get it, but at the same time, the general public is accepting a teenager swinging on spider webs and crawling on walls, and a guy shooting like 10-inch blades out of his hands, and guy making an Iron Man suit, and all this weird shit. Dragons on TV. A fantasy show is one of the most popular shows on TV now.
I think,
and it has dragons.
40K.
So, yeah.
Like, because I have a very vague understanding of 40K.
Which is the general public, essentially.
Yeah. So, my thing with it is, if I wanted to watch a 40K movie, I want a story that specifically, it would have to be, you have to pick a faction, right?
Yeah.
Preferably something that, not necessarily an origin, but I guess something that kind of is an early on moment for them, because I know that in 40K they have huge tomes and volumes and all these books about all sorts of crazy things that happen like between millennia, right?
Right.
Yeah.
More or less. And it's just like, that's a lot of ground to cover. And I think it'd be better. Actually, honestly, they might want to just take the Star Wars approach, where they just pick a moment.
Yeah.
And then they just tell you at the beginning, in the beginning of time or whatever, this blah blah blah, this is what happens, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'd be okay with it, but the thing is, with 40K, there has to be someone to follow, and they have to be kind of relatable. And the thing is,
the relatable part's hard.
Do not feel relatable.
Yeah, it would be hard to relate. I mean, if anyone could relate to anything, it'd be an IG, because they were just a common soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, if they wanted to do it, they'd have to break some rules and Hollywood it, and basically make a civilian a main character.
Well, so that, it's actually not breaking far away from, too far away from a number of stories. So just because I know enough about the Space Wolf, the character Ragnar, who is a major commander in the Space Wolves. He actually has his own company. Started off as a human,
right,
and then fought valiantly enough, died, and the Space Wolves brought him back to life in a sense, and were like, we deem you worthy enough. Now you got to pass our trials. And basically, through the 6 books.
I already have your movie.
You watch him go from this innocent civilian, this rural person, and becomes in a sense a force commander in the end.
Well, so I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
It'd kind of probably be breaking a little bit of the character's story. But you want to know what would be interesting, actually? I would like to see Ragnar, at the start of this hypothetical movie, already a space wolf.
That's easy.
Right? No, just start it there. But basically then, not necessarily through flashbacks, but kind of, I guess, maybe through some actually pretty intense PTSD sequences, possibly, you see how he got there.
Oh, so you've read the books too, Shane.
Oh, is that basically the books? It's just this guy's PTSD.
I mean, it's not PTSD because they don't. I mean, they don't necessarily have that. But it's the very beginning of most of the books were present day him, and then the rest of the book was him retelling an event in his life.
Okay, because the thing is, what you said about Ragnar made me think of Kratos, right?
Okay.
Because that was the thing with Kratos, right? He was a soldier, died, became some sort of undead warrior for the gods.
No.
Well,
he didn't die.
He
sold his soul.
Yeah, sorry.
He sold his soul
to the devil,
type
essentially. Death. I mean,
okay, not death.
Not death.
Literally.
Not literal death.
He did go to the underworld, admittedly, but he clawed his way out.
But his humanity
literally.
is not fully intact, is what I'm getting at.
True.
That's what I'm getting at. Is like something happened where he lost his humanity to ascend to something different, and that's a good story you could tell. Actually, if they made a 40K story, it'd have to be on this guy because that sounds very interesting.
I mean, it's pretty. Again, it's the source material already exists that you can kind of make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it would be better to have watch a character grow and develop all of the Star Wars approach, but you could also go the John Wick approach. Is having a grizzled character, and you don't question too much. You just kind of understand their position in the world, understand they're a force to reckon with, and watch them go through an event.
I like a John Wick approach because in John Wick, sometimes you don't really what the fuck are the coins, the totems?
Wick
it's
approach,
just
the thing is, you have to have enough grounded reality for it to feel right. And I feel like, to me, the general public, a lot of people would be like,
But you guys already do that shit. You fucking love Lord of the Rings. You love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is probably the worst example of this. But half that crap is based on fucking suspension of disbelief that you just go, yeah, alright, I'll buy into it. I don't even care.
Again, two of the most popular shows on television right now. One has flying dragons in it, and they're fighting the undead. The other is about fighting the undead.
Yeah. So
and they're based off of fantasies, a comic book and a huge fantasy series.
The thing that works about 40K is it takes it's sci-fi fantasy. It takes the raw elements of fantasy that most people love and understand, of people in armor dealing battles with forces that our minds can't comprehend, and then the sci-fi element of holy shit, they're in space. and you know, they have fucking guns that fire tank shells, and we accept that as a thing. Like you can do it from any angle, and I think the general audience will still accept it. What you have to do is you have to pull them in. Like you can introduce like a main character of a particular faction directly in the middle of a battle, or clearly prepping through battle, or for a major battle, and bring them in, and you get this understanding of in a short amount of time who this person is, how skilled they are. Are they a leader? Are they a follower? Did they save one of their brothers in battle, or did they let them fall to the wayside? You could do it in a very short term and get the human aspect of this godlike creature.
Yeah.
I think you can do it without having to start an origin story, because I'm kind of tired of origin stories. Like,
yeah, me too. I'm with you there, man. But the other thing is, like, I'm looking at a picture of Ragnar right now, and I'm just like immediately thinking, like, man, that's a lot. Like, just like costume wise.
oh yeah, like the Space Wolves would be like the most would be one of the hardest, because not only is there like armor like detailing ornated with teeth and runes and beads. They're like, if you have them not like without a helmet, they have like wolfen features and fucking you know hair everywhere. You could easily choose another faction and be
it'd be a gnarly project to take on, because I'm just looking at that and I'm like, oh man, how am I gonna? I have to do CGI or a mixture of CGI and practical effects. Who the fuck am I going to get on stilts to walk around at 7 feet for 12 hours a fucking day? It'd be gnarly. It'd be a fucking gnarly thing to do.
Oh yeah, it would be, and that's if you want to also have people that are humans that are surrounded by these men in armor, like if you choose not to have like any humans, anybody not in armor, you can then just be like, you don't even need the fucking stilts. You can just
that's true. You can get away with it with just like illusions and tricks of the camera.
Right. Or you do the Lord of the Rings approach.
Oh yeah, that's the tricks of the camera.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm getting at. Is just tricks with the camera, but you can also just like make it apparent that they are so big by comparing them to other things. Because I think there are humans and they're probably servants. I think something like that.
They're like
I was
anybody who's like a servant or a tech priest, something like that.
I was talking about the thing they did with the Hobbit.
Yeah. No, I know what you're getting, but like if you don't have any humans, you still have to emphasize their size. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, and that's like you could have a servitor near them, or I don't know. There are a bunch of things you could just do that are built into the walls or whatever, and clearly show scale. Add birds. There you go. That fixes it.
Yeah. But here's the reason why I kept thinking about this is because like nerdy has become very, very trendy.
Sure.
In the past, I want to say 5, maybe 8 years.
Definitely.
Maybe. I want to say in my early 20s, nerdy has started to become very trendy.
Yeah, it definitely. Definitely before, like a little before 2010, did you see it start trickling in more as just like, that's an acceptable thing. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. People love that.
And Marvel, I think, is part of that. I think is a bit responsible with that, with how successful some of their movies have been, and a little bit with also the Nolan Batman movies. Mm-hmm. But it's like Warhammer's this thing that is nerd.
Yeah.
It's ultra nerd. It's like, the UK. Oh, you like flying dragons and Game of Thrones and all that, and The Walking Dead, you think that's neat? Let me show you this. And just watch some muggle's head explode because they don't fucking know what the hell they're looking at.
I mean, to be fair, 40K has always been the steroided version of nerddom.
Yeah,
like, literally.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's...
really...
Well, again, take Lord of the Rings. Like, if you really want to go knee deep in Lord of the Rings, have someone like read the what's the Silmarillion. Yeah, I mean that shit gets deep too. So yeah, it's a question because everything Hollywood is constantly scrounging for ideas, and I know someone probably threw that on someone's desk, and that person looked at it and went, "What?"
So I think the best people to probably look at, if you want to hire a bunch of script writers, look at anybody who works for Black Library. They do all of the 40K stories and stuff.
Oh yeah,
because they do have to talk with Games Workshop to make sure that what they are portraying is on the up and up. Get them to do script writing. I mean, they're not going to be like the best at it, so you make sure you have a professional scriptwriter with them. But like, if they can dictate a story, they can dictate the story. They can brainstorm it and they have an idea of what to expect. If they had to, Games Workshop had to review it and sign off on it, they know what to kind of write for and write towards. Come up with the story that way and ship it out that way.
If I was in charge of this, I would tap the Tom Clancy of the Black Library, which is Dan Abbott, who's written a ton of novels and some of the best-selling novels in the 40K stuff.
Yeah.
So, just get him, and he'd probably get 2 others, and you might have something of a decent story.
Yeah, that's why I feel if you choose not to focus on a major point in the 40K universe and tell a unique story with people that if you focus, I think Space Marines is the easiest to just kind of sell because most people know or heard the name of Space Marine or something like that, so they kind of
Space Marine's a common sci-fi trope,
right? So people kind of have an idea of what to expect from the character. You just do it from the Space Marine side, because I would love to see an Eldar movie. But, I mean, not everybody understands what the fucking Eldar is. And they're equally as simple as Space Marines. I mean, they're just space elves. But no one's going to call them space elves because that's mean and rude. They're going to refer to them as Eldar, or the Eldari now. But I think movie-wise, going with Space Marines or Rogue Traders or Imperial Guard, doing a story that's not majorly connected to any of the other big events in the 40K universe, you don't box yourself in.
You don't box yourself in, and you don't make fun of it. Like, you treat it like it's a World War II movie, like you're talking about Pearl Harbor or some shit.
Yeah.
Because the moment you make fun of it is when you get Drek. Like, you get the Warhammer, you get the Warcraft movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
The problem with the Warcraft movie is also, like, a little bit too much dumb CGI, I think.
Yeah. You want a good CG department to help you out make this good. Yeah,
for sure. But, just to segue away from that, speaking of Warhammer, Warhammer's got some pretty good games. And their best series is Dawn of War, though I think Dawn of War 3 is not getting great reviews.
Yeah, I haven't played it, so I
haven't played it either. Yeah. But Relic, just to talk about Relic, they are making... There's no information about this, but I like the fact that they're making... They are now the developer behind Age of Empires 4.
Oh, are they really? That's so good. I'm glad for that.
It is. I watched it. The trailer is just... It's like oil paintings, and they're just moving across. I don't know if they're gonna... how they're gonna do it, because I think they're gonna do way more than 4 ages. The atypical Age of Empires is Stone Age, Iron Age, Bronze Age, whatever. I'm getting that messed up, but that was the atypical thing. It was just 4 different stages.
Yeah.
But the trailer had more than it looked like it went from ancient Greek to muskets. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, that's I don't know when that's coming out. It could be 2019. Who knows?
I'm not expecting it any time soon.
I'm not expecting it either. But that was nice to see as an RTS fan. It was nice to know that game is still alive, because we've been getting remasters of the old games like Age of Mythology, Age of Empires 2, and the original game. We're getting the Definitive Edition, which is a remaster of it. But the other thing that dropped, this was from All Gamescom, the other thing that dropped that Shane posted on our Facebook page was BioMutant. That looked interesting, and I wanted to show it to Eli because the dude looks like a red panda, and she's all about red pandas.
So, could I say something about that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. The trailer looks cool. However, I'm not really going to reserve any it's going to be great until I see a cinematic trailer. Not a cinematic, a gameplay trailer.
They're out.
Oh, there are? Okay. But the one thing is, I posted it, and I was like, shit. There is one thing I am afraid about for this game.
What's that?
So, did you ever heard of a game called Too Human?
Yeah. I have.
Oh, yeah.
Too Human promised something very similar if you look at the description, which was like, oh, you play as this character, and you go through it, and you just, you customize them, and you mess with either magic or weapons, or do you try to go the human route, and right? And it was a very ambitious game, and ultimately it fell flat on its face, right?
Well, it's not a good game by any stretch of the imagination.
It killed the company.
Yeah. And Too Human was like, oh, you're going to have this full range of customization throughout the game, and it was actually super limited. And now I know games have come really far, but I pray that if BioMutant says, hey, it's a really diverse customization system, I hope they deliver, because that will be that will kill the game instantly.
Well, I think they said, okay, you have these mutations, and you have mutations and cybernetic implants and mutations, and you can wield guns and all this other cool stuff. But the guy, and one of the things that I read was, but the main focus is that you're a master at kung fu.
That is actually really interesting.
So if they focus on the fact that melee is your strongest attribute, and they stick with that, it won't fuck up. You would hope. That's what I think it would.
I mean, with the absence of quote-unquote magic, that should balance the game out pretty nicely.
It's fine to have a mutation, and it's fine to have guns and swords, but if you want the guy to be a kung fu master, then have him be a kung fu master. And everything else should just enhance that.
Yeah. Hopefully that it doesn't turn into Jade Dynasty.
I never played it. But I mean, it just like take any kind of martial art action movie that you've seen, like take John Wick, who's like, hand-to-hand fighting with a pistol, and like he punches one guy, shoots another, hits another guy, throws a knife at someone else. That's what this game should be when you fight. On some level. But it looks great, and it's like, oh man, an original IP, this is awesome. So I'm happy for that fact that it's an original IP. Though I don't run or read in like 4 months from now we get another Scalebound and it's canceled.
Yeah, that would suck.
That would
knock on wood for that. Yeah, knock on wood for that, man.
I mean,
that hurt me.
It looks really cool, and I like the concept. Something Ashley brought up though was she was like, it looks like there's a lot going on, and that's true. I mean, you look at the character designs; it's kind of like a hodgepodge of things.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of it, if they do it right, it has a really interesting like cyberpunk feel. Mm-hmm. Even though it is like basically a raccoon, your Rocket basically.
Yeah.
And so
you're a calmer Rocket.
Yeah. And so and that in itself is very intriguing because, right now a lot of the games that we are getting are sequels.
Yeah, I mean, everyone kind of complains about that, but we're not. I mean, there's two kinds of sequels. I think, if you really think about it, there's COD, which is a game every fucking year. And I don't think that's how you should make games. I don't think there should be a thing like annual games like that. If you have an annual game, then that basically just means you're just updating the game that you made already. So there's that. And then you have the games where it's like, oh, the last game came out 2-3 years ago. Which, that's what I prefer. I mean, we're getting Shadow of War, and that came out in 2014. The original game, Shadow of Mordor.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, 3-year wait. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, we're getting sequels, but you can say Far Cry 5 is a sequel, but it's its own thing.
I mean, that's how the Far Cry series has always been. Is its own.
Yeah, it's an indirect sequel.
Yeah,
I think it's just what I get. I understand what you're saying, but my big thing with it is, when I say sequels, I also mean just genres in general. There's not a lot of expansion. People create they create a shooter, and it's fine that if they create a good shooter. But after a while, there's not enough diversity between shooters where it's I don't know what really draws me in, right?
Yeah.
With this,
I get you.
With this game, it's it's so far different from everything else. Just so I read the tagline for the trailer, and that was enough to make me click on it. And I was like, okay, I want to see where this goes.
Right.
granted, this is all speculation right now because that game's not launching for a while. So
no, but at the same time, let's say it comes out and it's a hit.
Yeah.
And then 2-3 years after it comes out, we get BioMutant 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the same conversation.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'd feel a little bit differently because it's a newer one. Like, for instance, Wolfenstein's just it's a rebirth of an older franchise, right? Which is not necessarily
right.
bad.
It's not bad. It's a rebirth of an old franchise that's basically, in my opinion, along with Doom, it's like, this is how FPSs used to be. And this is why you like them. This is, because it's a run and gun thing. The problem I have with some of the shooters out there now is it's like with COD, they're light or they're a bit too clean or not that. It's just they take themselves way too seriously. Wolfenstein and Doom don't. So that's part of it, I think.
I mean, I think Wolfenstein and Doom are excellent examples of why you should rebirth stuff.
Yeah.
Like they do a great job. I think outside of the exception of COD, though, I think one of my big things is like I'm cool with seeing like another Assassin's Creed game if it's better than the last one.
Sure.
But at the same time, like when I worked at GameStop, one of the things I noticed is there's a lot of sequels.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of them. And while the sequels are not necessarily bad, what I think is that they pull away from people willing to experiment. That's my big argument. Which is like,
well,
I mean, that's something we've argued about the industry in general. Is that in the years since PS2 era, it's AAA or nothing, and then it's up to the indie developers to kind of come up with new and unique ideas because it's AAA companies don't view it as a loss if it AAA companies will view a game failing as a loss, whereas like an indie developer, if it's their kind of first time, like they can either make some money back on it and potentially push it towards the next one, or they may just die off. It is sad that we rely on indie developers as the sole kind of spirit of new when AAA companies could do it so much better because they have the funds.
Yeah, but that's where it comes from. The reason why we get the sequels is because it's a money thing. Yeah. It costs a lot of money to make any kind of game. Yep. No matter if they're indie or not, there is a lot of money floating around. You have to pay people. There's overhead. There's all these costs. So instead of experimenting and making something totally new, they're going to do what they already did.
Yep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. In the case of Assassin's Creed, they broke it about 3 times. I would hope that Origin is a back to norm thing. But the other thing is like sequels have to come sparingly.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
You can't rely on them.
I would love it if Activision said next year we're not getting COD.
but we know that won't happen.
It won't happen. Yeah. But if we weren't getting it, it'd be interesting because then someone will kind of come around and go, "Huh, where's Call of Duty?"
I'd hope that,
but there's so many out there. Yeah,
I hope that there'd be a new idea.
Yeah,
I mean, I know Sony does this with a lot of their older IPs. You can play like the original versions on the network, and that's cool. But like, I thought about it, I was like, man, if you don't want to create necessarily a sequel, but you want to create a different type of game, definitely look back at the older PS2 era games. There's such a wide variety of them.
There's a lot.
And a lot of them could use a revitalization. Like, what was it, War of the Monsters? You guys remember that?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. That was a great game. I want a remaster of that.
Dude, a remaster, or better yet, like, make a new one, or technically make a sequel. It's been long enough, right? A War of the Monsters 2.
Yeah.
Dude, and you fucking make it hell. Like, I loved that game because it was a great multiplayer game, and I'd fucking play it all the time if I had it.
Yeah.
Be a fucking gorilla throwing shit.
Yeah, that was great because to me that was kind of like an homage to Rampage.
It really was.
Yes, it was.
I mean, it was fantastic in that regard.
I would love every character.
Yeah. But it really, what the industry needs is it needs a couple things. One, it needs to figure out how to not burn out teams. That's a major problem, and I do think they should take the animation approach, but they're not going to, which is you have the main core of the team working on the whole of the movie, and then off to the side you have like the next up and coming person who's going to lead the new game, the new team, and they will go into another room and start making another game. Because the problem is, once a game's done and it's shipped, if they're not making something else for that same game, i.e. DLC, that team, that person is just going to move on to something else in another company. So that's kind of the problem. They need to figure out that part. They also need to figure out a part where it's like, they need to figure out a cost-effective way to do things. Because like we're approaching this inflation rate with games.
Yeah, and
they need to figure out how to like cut that. And I don't care. The games don't need to look realistic. I seen the newest COD trailer for World War II, and like it looks really, really good. Doesn't mean a fucking thing to me. I don't care that I see the stubble on their face and it's in-game rendered and there's sweat and all this other shit. Like, I don't give a shit. You dub it down a little bit and you'll be fine. It's the reason why it was like a 50 gig update for Doom. The newest update, 6.66, the patch. Most of that was probably high-res textures.
Probably.
Like, okay, that's fine. That's really cool, but we don't need it. we do and we don't. I really feel like Doom is also that game that, like, PC, like, high-end PC people play to show off how powerful their rig is.
Oh, I mean, it's the Crisis of the modern day.
Yeah. Yeah, but playable.
Yeah, but playable, definitely.
Yeah. But it's like that's the problem. It's like we need to like us as consumers need to like tone it back. Like we don't like it doesn't need to look super good because we're not paying attention to so much. I think I'm not. Either we as consumers have to ask that the games don't look so good and accept that the fact that they're not going to look that good, or we're going to start paying $70 a game. Or 80 even.
I mean,
just for a standard game. That might happen.
I think it doesn't necessarily need to be like a change so much as like what we want, but I think it's just developers need an encouragement of style. Because that's the thing. Yeah. Ultra realism is a style. Look at Cuphead.
Oh, I can't wait for that one.
Cuphead's style is literally Disney like golden era.
Yeah.
Right.
That is an awesome game. Looks stunning. Beautiful, right? Everyone wants to play it. Look at the Crash Bandicoot reboot, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's not like something crazy. It's literally what he would have looked like if they had more polygons to spare.
Yeah.
And everyone loves it, right? It doesn't need to be ultra realism. Ultra realism is cool, but like after a while that you either get that uncanny valley bullshit or you have to start cheating a lot of the details around the world to make the characters look good. And that ultimately makes the game look like shit.
Yeah. But the other thing, I think what Will was getting to is, like, we have indie and we have AAA and that's it. We need some AA.
Yeah.
We need those games that are just, like, good, funny fillers. Not shovelware, but just those experimental games that have not the huge budget that say COD has, but enough of it to experiment and throw this game out.
Yeah,
that's what we don't have any of that, and most of those games that you guys love off of PS2 and even Xbox, the original Xbox, those were the AAA games. I mean the AA games. That's what we want. Those were those weird experiment. What the fuck am I playing games? And that's kind of where Dynasty Warriors was born. Which was kind of just what the hell is this? This is insane. I'm one dude cutting like a million people down. So it's hard. I mean, we're way off fucking topic.
Well, this is this is par for the course for us. I mean, this is a topic we're all very well vested in.
But I'm excited for BioMutant.
Yeah.
I'm not getting my hopes up, but I'm excited for it because it's like it looks neat. It looks original for what it can do. I'm just saying, if a developer's listening, stay focused. You say he's going to be a kung fu master, then let him be a kung fu master.
I mean, definitely watching a little bit of gameplay, it seems like a mix of your character kind of maneuvering around using their sword and switching to firearms, kind of on the fly and comfortably. It looks like it's just pressing, holding the left trigger, and then your attacks switch from melee to firearms really comfortably.
Yeah.
So I am excited that it is a new IP. I think it's really good and it's kind of refreshing. I'm with you, Nick. Just stay focused. Don't go overboard. You need something that's a fun game that your audience can get in and hop in, enjoy. It doesn't feel overwhelming. Watching a little bit of gameplay, it feels like at points it could get a little MMO-y, and that's less exciting to me. I'm fine if you want to have if you want to go the Monster Hunter route of multiplayer for a game like this, but definitely would it looks like it would be a great single player game. It doesn't need multiplayer. Who knows if it will?
No multiplayer.
I mean,
fuck you if you're thinking about multiplayer. If there's a producer or an executive saying BioMutant needs multiplayer, shoot him in the face.
I mean, again, that's what I'm saying. If it has a multiplayer aspect that doesn't rely on multiplayer, I think it's okay. But your main goal is to focus on fun gameplay, a somewhat decent story that's engaging enough to players, because it looks choice driven because there's a yin yang system. Make my choices impactful. Don't pull the Andromeda garbage with me of I just made a choice because it sounded funny. Fuck you, Andromeda, for that one.
Side, with choices, there's always two ways of doing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the impactful choices.
Yeah.
Or a lot of the complicated choices. I think that's what a lot of people think Andromeda and other ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or you do the Witcher thing, which is everything's bad no matter what you pick. It's just what type of salt do you want in the wound.
No, fuck the Witcher out. Yeah. It seems less good.
I'm just being real. Like, that's what I get a lot. And then, of course, there's the Fable route, which is like, they were choices, maybe. Your character looks like shit, or he looks really good. Take a pick.
My problem with Fable, there was no middle ground with Fable. It was good or bad, and if you were bad, you were punished. And I fucking hate games that do that.
This game has a middle ground option, which I like. I was while we were chatting, watching a bit of gameplay of it, and there was the first choice that I saw was is right always right, and there was the kind of altruistic choice, there was the kind of negative choice, and then there was the middle ground, which I was like, cool. So, but again, there's no context to what that will create and give. So we'll see. We'll see with this game. I am interested, but it's too early to really tell what the fuck's gonna happen with it.
It is. At the same time, I'm tired of games throwing the morality choices at us. Let me play the game and let the game tell a story. I don't want to press X to kill someone.
If the morality meter is interesting, if it's done in an interesting way, it does add to the game. If it's the Fable route, it's kind of meh. I actually liked the original Mass Effect choices because you could interrupt people talking by being a dickbag. So it did change the story told. Like, it did affect how it was presented. So yeah, if you're having a morality meter, if you're having a choice meter, lend to your creation. Just don't make it give an appearance change. Because it's like, why the fuck does it matter then? You know, and don't make it that it changes my gameplay in such a drastic measure of like, oh, if you're down the good path, you have these skills, or if you're down the bad path, you have these skills, or if you're in the recent path, you have this. Just have the morality meter, like, do not inhibit the game, lend itself to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For, like, there's two things I want to say. One, I think my least favorite mechanic is choice things in games recently, because I don't like it, because that's how I feel. It's like, you're making me choose something that's going to alter the game in a way I don't want it to be altered. And I hate it, so that's why I don't like it. But the one thing I looked at my notes, I wrote this down, and I'm happy that I did, is the vibe I got from BioMutant, the trailer, was Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
Yeah.
Okay.
Style-wise, definitely.
And you know what? That was a fun-ass game, and if they go that route, I'll be all the more happy.
There's definitely some... just again, from the little video I watched, there's some weird stylization mishmashes added to it. Like, I watched a character, like, roar, and there was the comic book style, like, a la 13, where it said roar in that kind of comic book font that came off the character. Which I was like, that's an interesting decision to go with. But again, it's just like we just are getting information about it for the most part. Send
that video that you were watching.
I'll find it for you guys and show it to you.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see how it goes, right?
It's interesting. I'm happy that it exists. That's out there. I just don't want it to kill a company or die prematurely.
Agreed.
Yeah. So.
I know. Right. I don't play the game. Right before as we were chatting, I saw it come up. But Injustice 2's new fighter pack came out, or information about it came out, because right now Gamescom is coming up. Did you see the 3 characters that they're adding?
Yeah.
One of them's Hellboy. Yeah.
One of them's Hellboy. Another one's Raiden. And then the other one is Aquaman. Black Manta. Thank you. The Hellboy that they've decided to go with, style-wise, is the directly from the comic book version. So just the yellow eyes, the kind of, I'd say, lankier proportions than.
He's not really buff, but he's definitely got height.
Yeah.
He's literally he's a upside down triangle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hellboy in the comic is an upside down triangle. He's broad on top, and then he just shrinks as you get to his waist and his legs, because he's got these thin little hoof legs.
I think I don't play many fighters anymore, but like the character choices that they've been doing for Injustice 2 have been really cool. And the last pack had Starfire, Red Hood, and Sub-Zero. For this one to continue with a DC character, but also pull in another NetherRealms character, and kind of a comic book favorite, I think is really cool. And I do think Hellboy looks good. I want to see just kind of gameplay of him just like beating the ever loving shit out of Superman, or fucking him fighting against some of the other DC characters. I think it'll be sweet.
Yeah,
I mean they made it very interesting choices.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wasn't very interested in the game.
Sure,
but yeah. I would have bought the game knowing Hellboy was going to be in it.
Right, because you just want to play as him because he's awesome.
Okay, it was Hellboy, Raiden, and who else?
Black Manta.
A Black Manta. Yeah. Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. I heard Black Panther, and I'm like, that's the wrong comic book.
Black Manta, or as I like to call him, Saucerhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is it's really weird because he's actually like one of the more legitimate DC villains.
But he's so fucking weird looking. Design wise, he's very unattractive.
No,
Hey,
design-wise,
Lobo-
he looks fucking stupid. But as a character, I think he's probably more accomplished than a lot of other DC villains.
Sure, I will agree with you there.
Is Lobo in Injustice? Is he a character?
I don't think Lobo is.
Lobo's a weird character. He goes back and forth between being a bad guy and the bad guy who does good.
He was in the first Injustice.
Oh, okay, so he's not in this one?
No, but it seems like they're releasing more packs as they gauge people's interest.
Yeah. I've said it before. I mean, Injustice 2 is probably the game that we the Justice League movie that we want to watch.
Probably. It's definitely the Justice League storyline that I at least find interesting.
Considering everything that's going on with the DCEU, it's just
wait.
Oh my god!
Really quick,
so stupid. Yeah.
Batman Metal.
Batman Metal.
It's a current comic book line.
Yeah,
I released a post on it. I just want to say this real quick.
They
created the coolest fucking looking villain I've ever seen.
Is that the Batman Joker hybrid that I saw?
His name is the Batman Who Laughs.
That is some creepy ass shit, by the way.
Oh my god, it's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
I heard about Batman Metal, but I didn't realize it was already in production. And basically, what it is it's just like an evil Justice League made up of Batmans, who they basically at different points in Batman's life they took the wrong path.
Right.
And so, but one of the Batmans, the one who leads them, is the Batman Who Laughs, who's basically I'm not sure if it's they're half and half, but it looks like it's the Joker in a very satanic Batman suit. And apparently he drags around 4 demonic Robins with him. Yeah,
it's some pretty crazy, whacked out shit, but I think it's very cool.
Oh my god, I saw that design and I was just like, is he in the Injustice game? I'll play that guy.
No, but there is an outfit for Joker that you can get that is a cape and cowl.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's definitely not that level of disturbing, but you can tell it's some not alright shit.
I mean, just a side note, Batman Metal, what they came out with for it, it was oh man, this could be a really cool comic idea. Let's see how they go. And if you look at the actual designs, I was like, oh my god, this is actually a comic I want to read. Because they got Batman mixed with Apocalypse. Yeah, they have Batman if he harnessed the Speed Force. There's a Batman if he took the Green Lantern's ring and never gave it back. It looks like a Batwoman who stole Aquaman's Triton. And I'm like, these are really cool concepts. These guys, they all look like Batman. So yeah, that's that. What else was on our docket?
Overwatch or Blizzard has released another short.
Couple of shorts.
You mean Blizzard is proving that they're the Disney of video games?
Yeah, but I mean, they're making content that
Well,
they're making interesting content. I haven't played Overwatch since the fucking beta on my Xbox, but I'm liking these shorts.
Yeah.
The shorts I think are awesome.
Watch the 5-minute Hearthstone video.
Right,
it's literally a Disney musical number. It's just a whole musical number, and it's so pretty and so funny. And I was like, you guys, just make a movie.
Yeah, I'm they keep releasing these shorts. They keep getting better and better, and to be fair, League of Legends also kind of has that same thing going on for that their kind of animation department for their shorts are also pretty on point. Why the fuck don't they just decide to make some 20-30 minute shorts? People would be pretty happy with them because they're they clearly have the chops for it.
Something I do because Blizzard is they're really good at making these shorts. Something I do on occasion, just because I think it's epic, is I watch the trailer for StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty. Because it's okay, that's a movie I want to see.
Yeah.
it's a game I would like to play, but it's a movie I want to see. Granted, it's not a movie, and it never will be, but, like, that trailer's epic. And, yeah, I agree, wholeheartedly. Like, Blizzard should okay, you have these great shorts you're making. Make a half-hour show.
Yeah.
Or something.
I
just make a 30 or 40-minute movie about Thrall. And that'll be your sequel for what we had back last year in June.
The thing is, they've put out all sorts of content for their games to push them, which is great.
Yeah.
They make motion comics. They've done some cool little interactive things. They make these shorts, right? And the thing is, though, like with the May short, very cinematic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also released before the May short, there was one called Junkerton, which is about Junkrat and Roadhog.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually, it looks like it's made it with the in-game engine.
Yes.
And I liked that a lot. It was very simple, very fun, very cartoony. And I was like, if they gotta release these things, at least maybe release them like with a series or something, like more frequently. Because it seems like, the way I feel about the Junkrat one was, they had the one team making the May thing, and then they had another team go and say, hey, make something about Junkrat.
Yeah.
And they were both great.
Yeah.
Because they were true to character. Also, when the May thing came out, I was like, this is going to be fucking heart-wrenching.
Oh, it is in its own right. The Junkrat one is very indicative of, like, old Hanna-Barbera kind of cartoons. It felt very like Roadrunner, or Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner-like. With that kind of same charm to it. So yeah, like, they can kind of do whatever, and they, like, should do it more.
Yeah, seriously. I don't play that many Blizzard games, but this shit is just awesome to see.
Yeah.
The one thing that I really liked that Blizzard did, I just remembered this. Did you guys see? It was for what expansion for that was it for WoW? It was the Orc one.
Warlords of Draenor?
Yeah, not the cinematic trailer. But it was a trailer where this, I don't know what species he is. He was like purple and had like tentacles.
Draenei.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. And he was talking to the king or the prince or whatever, and he was talking about all the chiefs in the Iron Horde.
Yeah.
And as he was explaining to him, he would tell the stories, and all the stories were these beautifully painted landscapes, which they added a little bit of movement to, like you saw gusts of wind or like a shift of the face, but not so much. And they were great. Just watching all of those. I think they were all 5. I think there was about 5 chapters they were talking about, and it was great. And I love it when Blizzard puts those out. I love them.
Yeah.
And I love these shorts they're putting out. They're great. So it's like, Blizzard, come on. You have the chops. Make a fucking movie. You have enough money from WoW, from Overwatch, and everyone buying loot crates. Make a film.
I mean,
I'd buy it.
You know what's really funny? When the first Overwatch trailer came out,
yeah,
everyone's like, is this Pixar with guns? Because that was the first comment. And, I mean, I would, honestly, when the first Warcraft movie came out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Blizzard should have just done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they should have just done a CGI movie, make it an hour and 30 minutes. I mean, honestly, like, my favorite thing to do, Nick, is actually I watch all of the expansion cinematics for WoW.
Because they're amazing.
Are you kidding me? My favorite one will always be Wrath of the Lich King. I could watch that all the time.
Yeah, well, I know someone on YouTube made a huge like compilation of all the trailers, from the premiere one up to the latest one.
Oh, cool!
Actually, it was before Legion. I think that's the latest expansion, right?
Yeah.
Correct me?
Yes, Legion is the latest expansion.
Yeah, it came out last year. They didn't have that one in this compilation that I watched, but they had everyone leading up to that. I think the last one was Cataclysm or Warlords of Draenor.
Warlords of Draenor.
Yeah, Draenor. I think it was that. And they're just great. And you also can see how awesome they got as they progressed. Because when they get to Warlords of Draenor, and who's the main orc that killed that dude?
You talking about Garrosh?
Yes, Garrosh. I think it was Garrosh. Well, he like just the up close personal the detail in that. This is detail in a cutscene, not a game. Difference, but the detail in him with the skin and everything, it was awesome. Like fucking Blizzard, you made this. You can make a movie. Or at least like longer shorts.
Yeah.
Which we shouldn't be calling them shorts if they're longer. But it was great. So yeah, I'm all for Blizzard. Like, well, if I suddenly see like Blizzard say, "Oh, Blizzard Films," that'd be
cool.
Board.
You know the one thing Blizzard does that's really nice though? Was that in the base short they used a clip from a previous short. And,
the Winston thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that because at least with this, there's a connection with all this content they're putting out.
Yeah.
It's like that's the one thing I hate when a lot of people try to put out content and stuff, right? It's not really like League of Legends creates a lot of really cool random content. It's not really canon to its story, and there's a lack of a story in that game now anyways, right?
Yeah.
But, it's like they just put out cool stuff, and that's interesting. But at least with Overwatch, there's like all the stuff they create, it's all canon, it's all connected. You just have to like look at the details, and that's just nice. That's really fulfilling.
It is one of the few PvP like hardcore competitive games out there with a huge story to it that everyone's invested to.
Yes,
I mean, people are invested into WoW. Some people are invested into League or Dota, but everyone, I think, is invested in Overwatch. People who don't play Overwatch are invested because it's such a rich story and it looks cool. And again, like, all these characters are stylized. They're not going for realism. They're colorful, it's vibrant, it's serious, but it's also funny. It's great. It has everything. I want Snowball. Snowball, just we should be wrapping up, but Snowball, he reminded me of the robot from Flubber.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Alright.
Yeah. Now, Flubber, not a fantastic film, but I wanted one of them robots.
Sure.
And that's what Snowball reminded me of.
Actually, you know what I can see happening, because they already had all that stuff in the trailer, or not the trailer, the short.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I really want a Maze coffee mug because it's a Murloc.
Oh, it is a Murloc, huh?
And I was just like,
dude,
I bet you I can buy that soon. I bet they're gonna fucking put that in the store, and I would be like, I want that.
Yeah.
More than likely, there's someone who's probably fucking around with a drone and making a snowball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I could totally see Snowball being a drone.
I can't find good pictures right now, but apparently at Gamescom, Blizzard released a series of Overwatch statues.
Cool.
Oh.
And they're
I'm all
fucking beautiful.
I'm all about statues. I would love to have more statues and more figurines, like the Marcus and the Jade I have on my bookshelf. I would love more of that.
Oh yeah, how's Kratos doing?
Kratos is good. He's good. He's guarding my books.
Excellent. Oh yeah, fun fact, people. Remember that present I told Nick I got him? Yeah, he didn't get it for like a month, like 2 months.
Yeah, I don't think I got it until mid July. I think it came on my doorstep.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, I wasn't. You know, where is it, Shane? You're supposed to be my friend. Where's my fucking gift? You piece of shit.
Ashley was gonna be like, he should call you out and just call you a liar from now on.
You are a liar.
I am. I'm a dirty, terrible liar.
You're a fucking piece of shit. But yeah, no, it's pretty cool. So I just remembered this. It was on Facebook. I put it out there. It was on the Gears of War page or whatever, and I think they're showing off a figure of Kate, who's the new love interest, I guess, in this. Mm-hmm. And you know, she's a fun character. So, and I typed into it like, man, I would love a statue of Marcus in his chair with holding a beer. And everyone like immediately liked that comment, and they're like, I agree, I would pay for this. This is awesome idea. Fucking make that shit. And I'm like, oh man, I so want Marcus in the chair. I want Marcus in his old beat up recliner holding a mug. Because that's the first time you see him in the game. Is when he when you walk into his little shack that he lives in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would so love that. A grizzled Marcus sitting in his chair as a statue. But yeah, I'm all about figurines and I'm all about Blizzard shorts. So I guess with that we should probably wrap up.
Yep.
Alrighty.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. Please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe on iTunes. If you're on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you're on Facebook, maybe give it a share, a comment, maybe.
Yeah, give it a share, got a comment. Hey, and if any of you guys are skilled in audio and you want to make some music for us, shoot us a message. Just throwing that out there. It'd be kind of cool if we had some audio for this. Some music, intro and outro.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.